So if you watch yesterday's vlog, you know I got less than 4 hours of sleep because I had run out of melatonin. I was a mess yesterday. Honestly, it's been so long since I've had a sleepless night where then I couldn't rest the next day because I needed to get things done. I didn't get the things done. Should have just gone back to bed. But it's been a long, long time since I felt that way. And I had no idea that the lack of sleep would set off such bad temperature dysregulation that I would be sick and nauseous from the heat all day long. It was terrible. It was as if I'd had heat poisoning, except it wasn't outside. I was sitting inside in the air conditioning and drinking ice water and still just sick. It got so bad at one point during the day that I went and took my temperature because I was sure I'd caught a virus. And my temperature was 97.4, which is my regular body temperature. But Dad did go and get me melatonin yesterday. I did take it last night before bed, and I take 9 milligrams a day. And I like to take the 3 milligrams because I can back it off when I need to, because as with anything with my body, again, not a doctor, this is not a medical opinion, this is just my personal experience. I like to make sure that I'm taking the least amount that I can to be effective for cost reasons, obviously, and for reasons that my body will eventually get used to something and need larger and larger amounts. And so if I'm starting out at the lowest amount possible while it's working, then okay. So I have taken 3 milligrams and slept through the night in the past. I've taken 6 because I've doubled it. And then lately I've had to take 9. So I don't know that I could back down to 6 anymore, but that's why I do a 9 milligram instead of a 10 milligram. Also switching things, sometimes the formula is slightly different and won't work for me even within same brands. So I don't know if switching to a 10 would actually work for me. I might waste my money buying a 10 milligram melatonin and then it not work, and there's nothing I can do about it. So that is why I'm still taking the 3 milligram that I started with. I just add extra. But last night I took an extra. I took 4 of the 3, so I took 12 milligrams. I went to bed between 9:30 and 10. I can't tell you exactly what time I fell asleep, but I was so tired. I slept through my niece coming home from work. I slept through the dogs racing above my head because they do this run out to the kitchen to get their treat right before bedtime that sounds like a herd of elephants right over my head. Slept through it all. Did not wake up until about 5:30 this morning. So I got almost an 8 full hours of sleep. Normally I run on 5 to 6 because I simply can't sleep any longer. But full almost 8 hours of sleep. Feel so much better today. And I've had one hot flash this morning. But I am not in that continual overheated, nauseous, feel like I'm going to throw up, weak kind of feeling that I went through all of yesterday. So that was terrible. Don't want to do that again. Melatonin is a must for me. I have to have it to sleep. Let's start with what hurts today. I'm at regular pain levels, so, everything hurts a little bit. The main thing that hurts is this arm, and so I've got an icy hot patch on it. It feels like, and it's weird because the original, if you've seen some of my history, you know that the original accident that triggered the fibromyalgia was a sign that fell on my head, bounced, and hit my neck too. So this was the injury spot. But it seems like everything that I deal with daily pain-wise is on the left side. So it feels like this shoulder pops out. You can hear it click. And so this is the arm and hand that goes numb most often while I'm sleeping. Although this one does too, occasionally. But this is the one that does more often. Even though when I fall asleep on this side. This is the hip. The left side is the hip that it gives me constant pain and gives out while I'm walking. This is the knee that had the torn meniscus on the left side. that never quite healed properly and will swell up and give out on me and always hurts and has audible sounds to other people in the room when the knee moves. So this is also the ankle that clicks. I don't know what that is. I don't know why it's the left hemisphere of my body is a problem. So still everything hurts. Neck hurts, you know, that spot in between your shoulder blades, right at your bra line that just always hurts. I've got the ACL patches on my glutes already, low back hurt, like everything hurts, but it's not overwhelming. It may be overwhelming to a person that does not feel daily pain, but not overwhelming. I do plan to get some things done today. Allergies, constipation, other symptoms, hot flashes. We talked about the hot flashes. Allergies. Mom did an in-depth, deep dive research into allergies and how to heal them naturally. She affirmed some of the things I've already done in my research. I really do need to get off of the allergy medicine I'm taking daily because that's not good. It's adding more of a load. Again, not a medical opinion, just how I know my body works. I have fatty liver disease. I have been diagnosed with it. It's mild, but, I was overweight. Since 2014, I have weighed over 200 pounds, no matter what I did. That's when perimenopause hit. That's when I gained 20 pounds in 1 month. I have never been able to get under the 200 mark since then, no matter what cleanse I did, no matter what diet I followed, no matter my food plan, no matter my exercise, no matter. I've not been able to get below 200, and still at this point have not been able to get below 200. That's still my goal this year. I came really close before May. Then we started into family party season. And even though I'm not eating, like I'm not going and buying a box of Twinkies and sitting and eating a box of Twinkies in the evening, just adding an occasional piece of gluten-free cake with sweetened with cane sugar has been enough to make me not lose anything more. So even though I'm not overeating, and I stop eating at 7, I don't eat before 7, so I've got a 12-hour where I'm not eating and the body is resting time period. It's still. So she did a deep dive. We are going to really focus in the next month on mitigating allergens here in the house and clearing the liver gently. We're not going to do any major liver cleanse. Those are really, really harsh on the body. And I have a hard time tolerating those. But liver support, more liver support. So we're going to refocus on that with the allergies. And hopefully some of the things that we're going to do for that will also help with the constipation, the chronic constipation. Okay. Diet and water. Yesterday, I sipped ice water all day long because I was so overheated. Still did not get in a gallon. I feel like if I'm not gulping down 8 ounces at a time, which, by the way, makes me nauseous, upsets my stomach when I do that, then I can't get in enough water. Still struggling with the water. Diet was great because we have so much coming on in the garden right now that we ate fantastic yesterday. 2 different cucumber salads, still got broccoli salad. I went up and cut up zucchini and black radishes and roasted vegetables for dinner. We did salmon with that garlic scape pesto on it. Oh, chef's kiss. That was fantastic. So diet was great yesterday. Had grapes for dessert. Like I said, sleep, that was fantastic. Waking up at almost, it was a little before 5:30, but waking up and realizing I had slept almost 8 hours. That was fantastic. I do have a headache though. I don't know why. I have a headache. What got done, what didn't get done? The only thing that got done yesterday was me printing off the packing slips and taking my 6 packages to the post office. That was it. And cutting up veggies to make roast veggies for dinner. Couldn't help my mom with the dishes. Couldn't do a single thing in my room that I wanted to do. I was just so sick and overheated. I just hate that. And our humidity's at 90%. And for years, when I was younger, The worst times I had with fibromyalgia were in the winter. Once the temperature dropped below 40 and stayed below 40, I was done for. Pain levels were too high to get anything done except going to work. I would forget to pay bills. House would not get cleaned. Just the basics got done between January and February. And then in the spring, I would catch everything up. The summer, we would have fun and we'd go do things, and I'd take the kids swimming and hiking, and I would date, and I would meet up with friends and do social things. And I would just have a day here and there where I had to rest and not, and not be in that horrible, can't function, can't do things cycle that I was in the dead of winter. And then once perimenopause hit, I couldn't even function after spring. Spring was still my time where I felt almost human. Summer, I was done for. I had to buy ACs for the windows, which I'd never had to do before because I was just sick in the heat and the humidity, and that has not changed. So since 2014, I have been struggling with this overheating in the summer, and the fibromyalgia being just as bad in the summer now as it is in the dead of winter. So I don't even get that break anymore where I feel mostly human. I just feel like a walking ball of swampy sweat, pain, exhaustion, nausea. And doing things like cooking heats you up even more. I had to sit down, and Mom had to finish up she had to take the veggies out of the oven, put them in the oven and take them out. It was too hot for me. I couldn't do the dishes because doing dishes in hot water overheats me. And I am well aware that scientists have proven that it doesn't matter if you do dishes in hot water or cold water. They get just as clean because it's the soap that cleans them, not the water. I still like to do dishes in hot water. I feel like it rinses off the soap better and gives you a cleaner dish. But when dishes have had to be done when I was raising the kids and there wasn't anyone else around to do the dishes, I have done them in cold water in the summer. I will be honest. I've done them in cold water in the summer, even though when it gets to everything like I feel is right. Mental health. Today, mental health is better because I got almost 8 hours of sleep last night. So we all know that mental health improves with good sleep. We all know that. Good sleep, not depression sleep. Enjoyable activities, 0. None. There were none. There was none. I was too sick to do anything activity-wise, good or bad. Just didn't get anything. Nothing got done. But Mom and Dad and I sat down this morning. Mom has a very entailed plan because Dad is struggling with allergies for the first time in his life, the way that I am. And so he has... but a lot of mine gets in here and then I can't breathe. A lot of his is in here. And then he wakes up because his sinuses have swollen so much in the middle of the night and he can't sleep. So he is dealing with allergies. We both are. And Mom did her deep dive research into it, and we've got a plan. Some of it's just getting back to what we were already doing before the middle of May. Things start to creep back in when you're putting on a bunch of family activities and it's summer and you get invited to an ice cream social or this happens and church cookout. And so some of this stuff has crept back in. Not that it's terrible. I mean, we are still eating 80 to 85% healthy foods, organic, lean meats, grass-fed beef, that kind of, we should be the healthiest people on the planet. We should have been able to tolerate adding in a gluten-free cake made with cane sugar, but no. So plan is to get back to eating the way we were when we had cut out all sugar before May. We'd cut out, at that point in time, I had cut out all potatoes. Potatoes have crept back into my diet. I was feeling better without eating the potatoes. So we're going to focus on things like that. We're also going to focus on things. And Dad is trying to get allergy testing approved through his insurance to find out if he's allergic to my cats, because his allergies increased once we moved in here. Now, the cats are kept downstairs, but they have a couple times a day where they're allowed to run down the hallway in the bathroom, and that is the bathroom that Dad uses primarily, and in our storage room. They're not allowed in his study, and they're not allowed in my mom's study, which are the other 2 rooms that are downstairs. But just them being out more, cat dander, we all know is a problem. If you're allergic to cats, you know. So it could be that he is allergic to the cats. But it also could be that just the mold has increased, and Dad and I definitely have issues with the mold. So we are going to do things like sweeping daily, Swiffering all of the flat surfaces daily, washing blankets, sheets, towels, anything in the house that could be holding allergens. If he is allergic to the cats, and right now they're looking at maybe getting a catio for right outside my door, so the cats could still get fresh air, run around and play in there, and not have to be down the hallway at all. And that way then they are not, Dander's not out of my room. Dad does not come in my room unless he's got to do something with the furnace. So we're looking at mitigating some of the allergies that way. And then definitely both him and I, he drinks less water than I do. You know how much I struggle with it. Looking at the water, looking at adding lemon to the water for liver support. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. So because I also found that this, going over the bad things every day, is affecting my mental health. Beginning of August, I will probably still do the vlogs, but I'm going to start out with what did I accomplish the day before toward my health. So what was my diet like? What supplements did I take? Did I get exercise in? Did I get outside and get fresh air? Did I do something relaxing and or fun? Because Mom and Dad and I all go to the limits of our health without ever doing anything relaxing or fun. I mean, I went out with my sister on Tuesday, but we were sourcing for the business. Went out with my friend Brian Saturday garage sailing for the business. So I really need to see if I can carve out 2 hours a week is my goal, to meet up with friends that have nothing to do with business. And it's a problem in my brain. And maybe you guys experience this too, but I just feel like because I have such a limited amount of energy that I need to be focusing it all on the business because I'm not putting enough into the business ever at any point in time. Does that make sense? Because I have so little ability to do anything. Except obviously not working. I'm not even making enough money to pay my bills, my static bills, let alone buy necessities. So it's not working anyway. It's not. I'm admitting it's not working. You guys are my witnesses. It's not working. Something's got to change. So I don't know what that's going to look like because it also has to be free. And it also has to be so, like, I can't go hiking for 2 hours because I physically can't. And I can't be outside for 2 hours because I overheat. And then I'm sick. And then I have a flare-up. And then I can't get anything done. So if you have ideas for things, like I can't go to the movies and sit in air conditioning for 2 hours and watch a movie because I can't afford to go to the movies. Man, I miss 99-cent movie day on Tuesdays. It's also hard for me to sit through a movie just because I hurt and I shift around and I make other people uncomfortable. But also can't focus because of my suspected ADHD. Whatever. Anyway, I need to do something. So I don't know. I don't even know what that looks like at this point. Like my brain is so, I used to be a social person. I used to have people over once a month, friends and family. Even with having fibromyalgia, even with raising 3 kids by myself, even with working full time, we still would have a cookout. We would still have game night. I occasionally hosted the holidays. Like, the medical professionals that are looking at me right now are going, oh, well, you're still doing this. And just because I'm not bedbound does not mean that my quality of life has not significantly decreased. Because even with fibromyalgia and even with chronic fatigue syndrome, I was still doing all of this over here. And now I am doing this over here. So just because I'm not bedbound does not mean that everything has gotten, doesn't mean that everything has not gotten worse. Just because I am mobile and I walked in here does not mean that I am doing 90% less of what I could do before 2014. So I'm doing 90, and I wasn't doing 100% before that. Anyway, I miss being social. I miss having a couple of the girls over just put together a puzzle with me on a Friday evening, which is a free activity, is something I could do if I could clean up this room enough to invite people over. Because that's the other thing. There's nowhere to sit. Every surface in this place is covered in something. A project I started, packing materials, stuff that needed to be sorted, stuff that needs to be donated, stuff that needs to go into inventory. A craft project I started. I was looking for something for a craft project. So then 10 things got open and now they're just sitting. Whew, it's overwhelming. But like I told my dad this morning, because it is overwhelming, small steps. Small steps. But those are the things I'm going to focus on in August. Stress relief is another one that we all need to focus on. Part of that will be once my niece gets into her new place, which by the second week of August, she should be into her new place and not living here anymore. That will reduce some of the stress simply because there will be one less animal here. Because she's been working crazy hours to save up enough money. She's the one who's going to start teaching in August, but no paycheck till then. So she's been working 8-10 hour shifts at Starbucks, not getting home until late, which is disruptive to sleep, even though she's super quiet when she comes in, but the dogs bark and then everybody's awake. And so that'll be one less stress. That'll be some reduced stress there simply by her moving out. And then the other niece has had to push back a bit her move out date, which is good because I think she should not be moving out yet, but that's just my opinion. So still don't have a date on when she'll be moving out. And because she's an STNA, sometimes she's working a 12-hour shift and getting home late at night too. So some of the stress will be reduced just simply by one less person and one less animal in the house. When the other niece gets moved out, that'll be another person and another animal because she is taking her dog with her. So each thing will reduce stress on just, just basic household stress. You can get to sleep earlier if everybody's already in for the night and quiet and things like that. So we're reducing stress. We are trying to put some fun into our life somewhere. Comment down below with help. And then getting back to the way we were eating, which cuts out all sugar, cuts out all dairy. We're already gluten-free. It makes mom too sick, so gluten was never added back in. Some more liver support, more water, that kind of thing. So that's what's going to be happening, starting in the next week. Sorry, I've got hiccups. So I'm going to try and focus more on the positive because just chronicling symptoms has just affected my mental health. It really has. So that's where we're at today. Thank goodness I got some sleep. Not that that made any difference in the pain, but I had no idea that not getting sleep would affect that temperature dysregulation to the point of making me so sick. But it did. That was awful. Won't do that again. Got to get my sleep. Cannot run out of the melatonin. That's for sure. All right. You guys are fantastic. If you hung around this long, this was a long one, but hopefully it was more positive than yesterday because I felt awful yesterday. And I will talk to you guys soon. I am going to keep vlogging. We're just going to change up the format a little bit in the next few days. That's the plan anyway. All right.